my version of a natural, everyday type of makeup look, especially for the fall. In the fall, we tend to wear heavier makeup with the cream contour and the extra this and the extra that. So this is perfect for every day. And yeah. Okay, so hey y'all. I decided to do something a little bit different today. I finally started getting back into wearing makeup on a regular basis now, so I decided that I wanted to go ahead and record for you guys and for myself my very own, let's just call it an it girl natural makeup look slash tutorial. It's one of those types of makeup looks that you can wear all day, any day, every day, to school, to work, out to eat, a 20-minute beat, whatever you want to call it. Just something that's very simple, somewhat natural, you'll see. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get right into it. So 2 things that I've already done to my skin. I've already went ahead and cleansed my skin, and I've already went ahead and put on some moisturizer. Right now I have on just a little bit of olive oil on my skin. Yes, I do use olive oil on my face. Some people don't, some people do, whatever. Do your own research on it. It works for me, so that's what we're gonna go with. And I've also put on a little bit of my MAC Prep and Prime. This is the Natural Radiance base in Radiant Yellow. And I've put a little bit of my Becca matte primer on in some of my oilier spaces like my forehead, my nose, the T-zone area, and here on my frown line. So once the skin routine is done and everything is applied onto my face, I like to let things sit for about 5 to 10 minutes just to let everything soak and penetrate into my skin. I find that that makes my base stay on a lot better, and it just gives me a better look overall. And so next we're gonna go ahead and take my handy dandy all-time favorite, the Maybelline Matte and Poreless Foundation in 355 Coconut. Okay. I literally just put it onto the back of my hand. I will set a timer and let this sit on the back of my hand for about a minute or 2, just so that it gets a little bit thicker. When your foundation is allowed to sit on your hand or on your face for a few minutes before you start blending it in, I find that it helps me build a heavier coverage. So yeah, this is what we have on the back of our hand. Sometimes I take 340, the same foundation, Maybelline Fit Me 340 Cappuccino, and I mix these 2 together. But today we're just gonna go with this because it's good enough. Okay, so once this has set on our hand for a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and take my Real Technique brush. This is the Instapop face brush. Dip it onto the back of my hand and just go ahead and apply my foundation. I don't know about y'all, but I love to use a small compact mirror when I'm doing my makeup. One like this, just because I can't see, and getting close up to a mirror in the bathroom is not always the most convenient because I'm short as well. So the little compact mirrors definitely help you girl out a lot. So I focus on one side first, and then we go ahead and do the other side as well. One thing that I like to do, especially for my short hair or bald girls, take any leftover foundation that you have on the back of your hand, your foundation brush, and just pat it over your ears as well, just because it helps to balance things out, especially if you're gonna go outside or if you're gonna be out taking photos or whatever the case may be. Trust me, you will thank me later. This is one of those things that most people neglect or don't even tell you anything about. But once you've been bald for as long as I have, shit, it becomes second nature. We're gonna take our handy dandy, my tried and true LA Girl Pro concealers. I use both Warm Honey and Cool Tan to highlight my face. So when highlighting my face, I always start underneath my eyes first. I really don't put it on in a particular manner. To be honest, I just kind of put it on just like this. I start with the area underneath my eyes first, simply because this is the area that we typically want to have the most coverage in. So you put it under your eyes first, because you allow it, by doing that, you allow this area to sit longer, if that makes sense. This area will have the most coverage because we're putting it on first before we go to the other areas. So it will sit longer than, you know, everywhere else. So that's kind of how I do this here. A little on the forehead, not too crazy with it. Down the nose. I turn it to a slight angle, so it's kind of crooked. A slight angle on the nose with the brush. So instead of doing it this way, I take it this way. Down the nose. I don't go all the way down because I feel like that's unnecessary, at least for my face shape. And then anything else extra, we are definitely taking it and putting it around the mouth area. Because most of the time, my black and brown girls, we tend to have hyperpigmentation around our mouth, which is fine, but this helps to correct all of that. So yeah, and then just like my foundation, I'm gonna go ahead and let this sit for about 1 to 2 minutes, and then we're gonna come back and blend everything all out together. Okay, I don't know why, but I almost forgot to cream contour my face. Now, I said that this is gonna be a natural makeup type of look, but it's still a little bit extra because I'm a little bit extra. So yeah, what I do is I take my handy dandy, my tried and true black opal true colors cream stick, a cream foundation stick in suede mocha, and I use this for my contour. I've been having it for a minute, but like I said, it's my go-to. And what I do is I go from my ear down. Same with the other side. Ear down. Check in my mirror to make sure everything is cool. This is a Real Techniques beauty blender, right? I wet it so it is damp. Drain it, of course. And then we're gonna take this, the big side here, or the pointy side, and we are going to blend up with this sponge here. And we blend it up into the very bottom of our concealer for our highlight. And by doing so, we are kind of killing two birds with one stone. We're blending out that contour away from the harsh line that we've kind of created, but we're also blending out the edges of that concealer because that's what we want to do anyways. So that's kind of that there. Take it and do the exact same thing to the other side. Your girl likes a lot of contour, not gonna lie. So I be kind of going ham with mine. And I kind of just go back and forth between both sides just to make sure that everything is as even as possible. Okay. Might as well take it up on the forehead because we're going to use it on our forehead anyways. But what I don't like to do is take too much contour and put it right on my forehead simply because I'm bald. So it's better to use some of the remnants from your beauty blender as opposed to taking this and sticking it right on the forehead because it can be kind of harsh even after you blend it out. Then I take my foundation brush, same one from earlier, and I start to blend out the bottom portion of my concealer into that contour and my foundation. Same with the other side. And I'm doing it with the edge as opposed to doing it with this part because sometimes what I don't want to do is I don't want to make it a little too muddy, if that makes sense. So let's just take the edge and blend away like that. We can also take this brush here, the big side with the foundation, and blend out around the mouth. And that does that there. So now with the exact same beauty blender that we used for our cream contour to blend that out, just gonna flip to like a more clean side. So not this side that's super dark from our contour, but we're gonna take this side, flip it, and now we're gonna go ahead and blend upward. But this here, we do this pretty soft because the way that you would blend your concealer out at the bottom area is not necessarily the same way that you want to blend it out at the top, simply because you want this area to be more blended, but you want this area here at the top to be lighter. So that's that there. And then we do the exact same thing to the opposite side. Start out here, blend that up. But a little softer as we move inward because this is where we want the most concentration and brightness for our highlight to be. So now we're gonna go ahead and hit that forehead. Same exact side that we did or that we used for our, what do you call it? Our under eye. Same here. Blend all of this up. Now, I wanted some more warmth added to my face, so I took the same exact cream stick for my contour and I put it on my forehead just because, like I said, I wanted some more warmth. Just so everything is well-rounded, but I don't necessarily let this sit as like I would the rest of my everything else on my face, just because if you let this sit too long on your forehead, it makes it harder to blend out. And your forehead area, especially when you're bald like me, this is not an area that you want to necessarily let cream contour sit because you don't have any hair. And so this area can get too dark, and then it's just no. Leaving, that area still open where we did use our highlight. Sometimes I will add a little bit more and do the exact same thing. We don't want to let it sit too long. We blend both into the brow and into the hairline. Into the hairline, back into the brow. And we're also going to connect the space in between here. That way we are closing in that area where we pull out the concealer, just to make things a little bit more rounded. Same with it with this side here. We blend back into the hairline. For uniformity, we blend down into the brow. Turn that down so you can see kind of what we have. This lighting in here is kind of bright, so this actually helps you see what we have a little bit better. And it also helps me see what it is that I could do a little bit better. What I'm gonna do, just for my own sake, because I'm extra, I'm gonna go ahead and take that same cool tan from earlier, put a little bit more in the middle of my forehead, and I'm gonna go ahead and blend that out. Just because I want a little bit more brightness right here. Good thing about makeup is that it's forgiving, and lighting is important because it will help you determine what is good, what needs a little bit more work, and so forth and so on. Some people will take their concealer and carve out this portion at the bottom. Me personally, I don't do that simply because my face structure is already so defined on its own. If you're somebody who has a rounder face, a lot more round than mine, especially a jawline that's a little bit more round or a lot more round, then cleaning up underneath here, just taking concealer and cleaning up underneath here and curving or carving that out would probably help make your face look more what do you want? How do I say this? More pulled together, defined. But because my jawline is already pointy enough, I don't need to do that, because then it will only make things look a little bit too harsh, if that makes sense. So this is what we have right now. Now, if you want, you could definitely take a lighter concealer, either more of your cool tan or your warm honey, or if I was gonna be really extra, like say I was going out to the club or I'm going out at nighttime, I would take a foundation that's quite light, no, not a foundation, a concealer, and this is the Pro Concealer by LA Girl as well, LA Girl Pro in porcelain. You could also use natural, the same brand, but the shade natural, you can't even see it, but this is porcelain. And I would take this, put it underneath here, right, and let it sit for about a minute or so, and then that'll give you a really bright under eye if that's what you like. But we're going for a more natural kind of look today, because this is a It Girl natural makeup tutorial. Even though it is kind of extra, we don't want to be too extra, but that's just a pro tip, and maybe I will show you guys how to do that in another video, showing you how to make your under eye really bright. We're going to set our face. So I have another Real Techniques beauty blender. This is going to be completely dry, and I'm going to take this and dip it into my Maybelline Fit Me powder in the shade 240 Golden Beige, and I am going to dip this into this here, blow some of the excess off, put this back down. This is a very important tip. Before you ever set your concealer, especially under your eye, you always want to go ahead and re-dab the concealer underneath your eye so that you're not setting any lines or creases. So we're gonna look up into our mirror, re-blend out, not over blending, but just enough so that We're not setting any creases, right? We're gonna take our setting powder and we are gonna press into our face by looking up. And we're not necessarily baking, we're just pressing this into our face. This is low-key a lot on this sponge, but that's okay. That's one area, and we're gonna do the other area as well. Remember, looking up, well, looking down right now, just to get some more powder, but we want to look up. So take your mirror and lift it up, and take your eyes and look up into the mirror. And this will help you tremendously. And we're going to do the same thing to the bottom of the face. Set all of this here. Put this on the brow area. Looks a little harsh right there on the edges now, but trust me, we're going to get all of that in just a second. Now we're gonna go ahead and set our cream contour. This is an old ass raggedy face brush from Wet n Wild. I thought it was e.l.f., but it's actually Wet n Wild. I am taking the Zulu palette by Juvia's Place, and I'm gonna go ahead and use this shade right here. It's gonna be this nice medium deep red tone type of brown to set my face. And yes, this is eyeshadow, but you can always use eyeshadow for contour or anything, honestly. So we dip it a bit, shake that excess off, and now we are going to take our mirror and turn our head sideways and just set that. All while blending into the powder that we just used to set our our highlight. We always blend contour powder up into the highlight. So you want to take it at the edge, set, but while you're setting, you're pulling up at the same time. Now, I'm taking this very old ass Estee Lauder bronzer in the shade Bronze Goddess. Taking this, dipping it in, and adding it. It helps to merge that contour powder and that highlight powder or setting powder a little bit better. And it also adds a bit of shimmer, which is important because after using products that are quite matte and powdery, you need something that has a little bit of shimmer into it as well. It's also good to set for the forehead because it's not as harsh or dark as the other powder we just used, the Juvia's Place shadow. So I am a huge fan of orange blush on black and brown girls, but because it's fall, I don't want it to be too bright, so I'm going to take a little bit of this here with my contour powder, and I'm going to use that as blush. So this is I really don't even know the name of it, but it's an old brush from Target. It's a brand called Sonia Kashuk. I don't even know if they still make these brushes anymore, but I've been using it for blush for like forever, so yeah. Just go back and forth like this. Picking up a little bit more brown than the orange. If you feel like you have too much product on your brush, just take it and blot it on a towel. And that'll kind of help with all of that there. And I just take it right up here and pull back. You can apply your blush however you want to. This is just kind of how I like to apply my blush, and I like a lot because, well, blush is gorgeous. You want to tone it down a little bit. Take some more of that brown, pat it off, and don't smile like that because it doesn't help you. Apply it onto the cheeks, the apples of the cheek right here. Pull back. I also like to throw it on my forehead just because it helps kind of pull everything together with the face. Now we're gonna kind of blend some of this out before we do all of that. Looks a little harsh, but we're gonna blend it out. Remember, this is natural, but it's still extra, okay? Now this is where our foundation brush is gonna come in at. We're gonna take our brush from earlier and use that edge, pat between the highlight area and the blush and the contour, just to kind of tone things down. We're not trying to take color away necessarily, but we're just trying to blend everything together right there. Now if you feel like you've lost some color, because sometimes that happens when you blend out, just add a little bit more. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and contour our nose. Usually I would use my cream contour for my nose, but because this is still a relatively natural look, we're gonna just take some like an angled brush, and this is the AOA Studio brush in the number, you probably can't see that, E125, and you can get this from shopmissa.com. I'll put the link in my description bar, and I want to say this brush is probably like $1, but it's perfect for nose contour. So now I'm taking the very classic but ancient RK or Ruby Kiss by Kids 3D Contour Artist Powder Kit. And I'm gonna take a color that is right here. Now, let me go ahead and darken this up for you guys and lower that down. What we want is a little bit of both. This has the depth that we need, but it's a little red. This here is a nice shade, but it's a little too gray by itself. So we're gonna mix both. And then we're gonna go ahead and contour our nose. And yes, we do still have our concealer in the middle of our nose, but you'll see what I do with that towards the end. So I like to start off towards the middle of my nose. You can squeeze it if you like, just to get it a little bit more narrow. Center. And then let's pull up into the brow area. Same thing, kind of squeeze. Start in the middle right here. And then pull up into the brow. Your nose contour, in my opinion, should always go up into your brow area. Let me get this side to match up with the other side. And that's a good, nice, natural nose. If you want to blend it out, which you can, take the edge of your foundation brush, go down, and that'll help merge your setting powder underneath your eye and your nose contour. I don't like to blend mine out too crazy because I like for my powders to kind of be like distinct. But, you know, this is how you tone things down. Your foundation brush is the key to toning things down on your face. Okay, believe it or not, even though I don't have no hair, I am not like a super crazy brow girl. Some people, you know, are huge on brows and they really care about what they look like. I care about what they look like, I do, but I'm not super crazy about brows. My skin and my base is like my everything. The brows, I always do them last because I care about them, but not really. I take the, what is this here? It's the Girl Boy brow set gel from MAC. And I go ahead and I set the brows first. Not only does this set, but it helps to lighten your brows as well. And when I say lighten, I don't mean bleach. I just mean lighten. It gives it a more natural type of look. That blonde helps. This is a really good color for girls who wear blonde hair. So my brows are low-key already kind of done because I just got them done. My husband is a barber, so he does my brows for me, so they are pretty much done. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try my best to fill them in as neat as possible. So now I'm going to take the super slim point fine brush or eyebrow pencil, Jesus Christ, by Absolute New York. This is something that I get from the beauty supplies. Starting with the back. Fill that line in like that, like so, like so, like that. This already is not going how I want it to go, but whatever. I want to start kind of brushing it out. Kind of feathering it as we get to the front. Not going too crazy, just kind of feathering. I did not want to have to clean this up at the bottom. I think I am a little bit, not too much though. When we get to the front, create a little feather, go up, go up, go up. Create more roll shape there. And child, that is literally it. Remember, this is still a semi-natural look. I take my powder brush, not my powder brush, the brush that I use for my nose contour, and just kind of like re-up into it a bit, just to help blend that front area out some. I told y'all I don't care about my brows like that. I really don't. Just add a little bit more so that we're not losing too much color. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go back over my brow with the Girl Boy to set in place. There's one little area that I want to fix up on my brow. So off camera, all I did was fill in a little bit more right here. I filled in my arch a little bit more, and I'm going to take a little bit of concealer on this flat brush. Now this is a Wet n Wild, I don't know, I think it's just a flat shader brush. And I'm going to take, not this big pink mirror, because it's too big to be in the camera, a little concealer on my brush, and I'm going to clean up right underneath here. And that really and truly, guys, is like the perfect natural brow for me. Not too crazy in the front. We still got some structure going on. And it's not super crazy and bright underneath. Make sense? Now let me go ahead and darken this for y'all so you can see. Look at that. Now we didn't even have to go above and clean anything up. You can if you want to, but you don't necessarily have to, because remember, this is still supposed to be semi-natural. And it's just a little bit of concealer and a little bit of foundation on this brush here. Nothing too crazy, because we don't want one of those super light overcast. My brushes have seen better days, y'all, but they get the job done, I promise. This is another Wet n Wild brush here. But that's what that brow looks like there. We need a little bit more gel right here. But boom. That's what I got for a very natural brow. I'm gonna go and do the other one off camera, and then I'll be back. Next, we're gonna go ahead and just curl our lashes. Handy dandy lash curler from the beauty supply. Nothing special. Curl the lashes. Cause all we're gonna do today, y'all, is just mascara. Remember, it's still supposed to be a natural look. Okay, so you probably can't necessarily see. Okay, well, maybe a little bit, but my lashes are now curled. And all I did was take my little handy dandy, I keep saying handy dandy, my handy dandy lash curler that I got from, I think this comes from, it's either the drugstore or the beauty supply. Been having it for forever. I just ordered a new one, but this is what it looks like. I went ahead and curled the lashes. Curling your lashes makes a world of a difference, even if you're just putting on mascara like we're doing today, or if you're putting on false lashes. If you're putting on false lashes, you definitely should be curling your lashes before you put the lashes on, simply because it makes the lash fit better, and it gives your eyes a more open type of look. So next, we're gonna take the LA Colors Bold Lash. It's the Defining Bold Lash Mascara. And you can literally get this from anywhere. I got mine from like dollar store. So yeah, and I like it because it's one of those skinnier, it has one of those skinnier wands. So it lets you get like right underneath, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes the really big fat mascara wands are cool because they do a lot of the plumping, but it's kind of hard to get like right underneath, you know what I'm saying? So again, compact mirror, and we're gonna go ahead and just put this on. And I will also put a link to this mascara in the what do you call it, the description bar below. But I think it does a pretty decent job for something that's like $1.25. Sometimes working with mascara that's really new can be annoying, because wet mascara can be kind of messy, but it does the job. I look crazy. Y'all, I got this new candle in my bathroom from Walmart, and it smells so good. It's called sweet sugared lemon, and it is divine. Okay, y'all, so this is the finished look. I'm not gonna lie, I got hungry as hell, and I had to stop, because when I get hungry I can't function. So I finished the makeup look. I went to go eat, and I came back and I finished the makeup look. But all I did off camera was, in the last clip that you guys saw, I was putting on my mascara, and I used the LA Colors Defining Bold Lash. Like I said, I got this at the dollar store, and I actually like it, surprisingly. It does the job, and I went ahead and I put on some bottom mascara using this exact same one. on the lower lash line. For my lips, I went ahead and I overlined them a little bit. My lips are already big as hell, but it's makeup and we being a little extra. And what I use for the lip liner is the very classic, you probably can't see this, but it is Chestnut from MAC Cosmetics. It's my absolute favorite. I love it. It's my go-to. It's one of the only brown lip liners that I use. So I have this on to outline the lips. For the lipstick today, we used another MAC Cosmetics product, and this lipstick is called Myth. If you can see that, Lord Jesus have mercy. It's a perfect nude, peachy, peachy sort of nude. Very pretty. It looks nice on women of all colors. This is a shade that light skin, dark skin, brown skin women can wear, and it pairs beautifully with chestnut. So if you have not tried this lip combination, I highly recommend it. To tie in with the peachy brown type of blush concoction I have going on, I topped that lip combo with, Lord Jesus, this is so, I've been having this for quite a minute, but it's just a random peach gloss from the beauty supply store. I will try to find it and then link it below. Oh, I'm glad I flipped on the back. It's from a brand called Izme, Izme USA. But this is in the shade Alyssa, and it's nothing but a pale peach type of color. And I topped the lipstick with that. I put a little bit of gold shimmer on my nose. I don't really use highlight anymore. I'm just not really that big of a fan. I took a black eyeliner, pencil eyeliner, and I reinforced my beauty mark because it got covered with the foundation. I took a beauty blender, then I wet it, and I put it over my, I just dabbed it over my face to set. I really don't use finishing spray. I really don't use setting spray like that. I don't know. I just don't ask me why. Like I said, I just don't. But yeah, y'all, this is the finished look here. I think it's fabulous. I think it's simple, yet still pulled together enough for you to pretty much do anything you want. Like I said, you can go to school with this look, go to work with this look, go out for brunch, go and have drinks real quick with your girlfriends when they call you at the last fucking minute and you don't have time to really do nothing. But yeah, y'all. So if you like this video, please be sure to give me a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And also be sure to follow me on my other social media platform, on Instagram at itgirlri. That's at itgirlri, ITGIRLRI, over on Instagram. And let me know what you think of this video down in the comments below, and I can't wait to come back and give you guys another video. So yeah, I hope you all love it, and see you next time.